if worthiness is something that you kind of struggle with, if you have thoughts running around your mind sometimes that go, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of this or of that, stick around. You're going to love this interview. You're going to love our guest. This is an interview for a series that we're making called the Empower You Energy Healing and Manifesting series. And it's our intention with these interviews to give you nuggets, gold, pearls of wisdom from the members of the Empower You tribe, because they have a collective huge amount of knowledge and expertise that we want to share with everyone so that you can take what works for you, what resonates for you, and just apply it to your life to live the life that you want to live. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Isabel Martins from healthandnaturallife.com, and my guest today is Kim Lovegrove from Kim Marie Lovegrove Coaching. And we're going to start right away. So first, thank you very much, Kim, for agreeing to be here, to do this interview, to share your experiences and your expertise with the Empower You tribe. So thank you.
Hello, Isabel. It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you then to just take it away, if you would please. Just introduce yourself, what you do, and how you came about doing it.
Sure. I'm a coach, a transformational coach and results coach, and my business card also says that I'm a life resilience strategist. And because of my feelings of low self-worth, I needed a lot of resilience throughout my life. Of course, years ago, I didn't really know that I didn't think much of myself, or that I wasn't enough, or that I wasn't worthy. I was totally unaware that that was at the root of all my issues, all my problems, all the bad relationships that I got into, or the reason that I couldn't hang on to money. I sometimes made a lot of money and then sometimes couldn't make any. And when I got it, I couldn't keep it. And it was, I always worked really, really, really hard at everything I did. And everyone thought that I was this super achiever and, couldn't do any better. But I weren't working out for me, kind of 360 degrees in my life. And I was forced to look at everything when I was really taken out and laid up in hospital for a long time and told that I wouldn't walk again after a serious accident. And that's when I reassessed everything, and it all became clear to me what the problem was. And so I had to really go in and deep inside myself, and of course I'm still doing that, and with the help of my beautiful friend here, Isabel, sometimes. So because we can't do it all ourselves. That's something I learned. For many years I thought that I could do everything myself and I didn't need the support of anybody else, but I know a lot better now. And so I've learned an awful lot since that horrific accident and all the surgery that I went through. And I've used a number of different tools. I took myself off and got trained in very many fields. Before the accident, I already was a homeopath, and I'd done a lot of medical research. I'd studied nutrition and dietetics. I used a lot of leadership skills in my military career. So I kind of had I won't say a checkered background, but very well-rounded background from one extreme to the other. But now my love is really coaching and helping people who are stuck and know it, or are stuck like I was and don't know it. And people who want to get into the flow of life and have things work out better for them, so they have better health, better wealth, more abundance in their life, and with money as well as relationships, and enjoy life, get really happy in their life, learn to love their life.
Yeah, you said one word that keeps ringing in my ear, so I'm going to ask. Overachiever. Okay, so you were an overachiever, and then you said that you realized you couldn't do everything yourself. What made you flip that switch? Because many people, and many women and men, feel that they can't trust anyone. They have to do it all themselves. They have to prove almost to themselves that they can stand like an island and take care of everything in their lives, be supermen, superwomen. Shifted it for you?
Again, it was finally, I think, the accident. When I was a single parent, I had 2 young children. I had no extended family. So it was just the 3 of us, and we were very tight knit. And I was too proud to ask for external help or search out anything. I thought there were no options but to just keep pushing through myself. If I want to take it back even much further to when I was a child, I became a sports star, an academic overachiever, musical super achiever. I did everything so that thinking that it would prove my worth, that I would get the love that I yearned for so much. I thought if I'm really good at this, and if I win this, and if I do that, and of course it didn't eventuate, but I got a lot of certificates and gold stars and medals, but it wasn't the result that I wanted. And then when I became a single parent and had to do everything, I functioned for a very long time on very little sleep. I was still determined to be the best damn mother that walked the earth. And in order to do that, I had to work sometimes 3 jobs, sometimes just many, many hours a day, to make sure that they got a very well-rounded life, and didn't end up.
You weren't, just interrupt, you are not going to give up. Something had to break that.
Yeah, there was no way I was going to stop and smell. I didn't have time to stop and smell the roses and figure out, is there a better way I could be doing this? Or maybe, other people don't seem to push themselves so hard. But no, I didn't stop long enough for that, because I thought I couldn't. So, and no one could take my kids to where they needed to go. Nobody could do what I did. So, and as I said, pride came into it, a false pride, that would prove that I'm incapable if I had to ask for help. I can do it all, until I couldn't. In fact, I couldn't even do anything for myself. And that's what really, really drove it home to me. A friend of mine who was a naturopath, who I hadn't even fully opened up to her as to how much stress was in my life. And when I found myself on that hospital bed, unable to move at all, and she said, that finally it's happened. She said, the one and only person you've ever been able to rely on has let you down. You can't even look after yourself anymore. And that was the nail that really drove it home. And I knew that I had to reach out, ask for help, and look around and receive help, when it was coming to me, and know that I couldn't do it all. I just had to.
That's quite an amazing story, and the entire path is what now makes you damn good as a coach, because of your life experience, everything that you went through, and now you know what people feel and how to help them be out of it. So what is it that you appreciate, that you love about what you do?
I love to see the change, and the people, even the physiological change. When people make even the smallest breakthrough, the color of their complexion changes, their eyes change. Of course, they smile more. They carry themselves in a different way, and they're almost different people when they make breakthrough after breakthrough after. Sometimes it's just a lot of little things. It's almost like a domino effect, and sometimes it can be one huge breakthrough, and it's lovely to see. And I'm currently in San Francisco, and I've been away from home for 2.5 months now, and I've been doing a lot of work over here to make me a better person and to make me a better coach. And I know that I have changed and grown and got a lot stronger in the time that I've been away. And it was only 2 days ago I was thinking back to the way I was before I flew out of Australia, and thought, wow, there are going to be people back there who won't recognize me when I get home. So because I've done a lot more internal work, I've done a lot of meditation with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and a lot of study with him, and I've been doing some fascinating work with family constellations over here. So that's opened up a new world for me personally, and I think it's a lovely way to help people who have maybe looked at a lot of different methods, or looking for a solution, but and know they're stuck but can't figure out where it is. They've tried this and this and this and this and this and umpteen other methods and still can't quite get there. There's one little piece that needs to shift, and sometimes it can be back in our 2 or 3 generations back, and it's just there in the field. And once that goes, then there's no stopping that person then moving on into what they want to do. So that's I'm excited to be doing that.
Oh yeah, it's an amazing world. Everything that we're living in, everything that we're figuring out again, probably not discovering, but getting back to our conscious awareness. So I'm going to ask you, kind of shared your path, but I want to ask you if you have any kind of long-standing patterns in your life that you have been working on over and over and over and over and over again. And if you do, what has worked the best for you? 1, 2, 3 things, however you prefer.
I suppose that I used to fall into fear quite a bit, fear of failure, because being I used to be very much the perfectionist. I thought I had to be perfect in everything in order to be that super achiever. And if I wasn't perfect, then I wouldn't be loved, that's for sure. So whenever I was faced with a new challenge that I could easily go into fear that maybe I'm not good enough to do it. Maybe I'll fail. Maybe, who am I to think that, I'm good enough to actually do this? And I found that fear would paralyze me. Sometimes I couldn't actually even get started to do that very important project that I needed to do, or make that step, because of that fear of not being worthy or good enough, and therefore failing. So I've learned that I had to. That was a tough one and I recognized. I mean, it's a lifelong thing, but now I'm so aware of it that I know when I'm going down that path. I meditate. I know that now, from all the work I've done, I know that inside the answers are there. I just have to quieten my mind long enough to find them. If I feel that there's the time pressure, that I haven't got time to really sort it out myself, through meditation and writing things out. Like I do a little trick sometimes. I get a piece of paper and draw a line down the center, and I'll write a question that concerns the issue with my left hand, with my dominant hand first, which is my right hand. Then I'll change the pen to my left hand and write on the other side of the line the same question. And then I keep doing this, just writing the same question over and over again. I don't write very well with my left hand, but the point is just getting it out. And by that, what that does is make the left and right hemisphere connect with each other and figure out the answer themselves. So usually by the end of the page, I've got the answer that I want. And if it's not the answer, it's certainly a big step in the right direction. And but the biggest thing is getting either whichever method you use, whether it's for meditation or writing, journaling, yoga, which I'm now doing a lot more of, which is connecting everything. Now I can. I couldn't, for a long time, I couldn't move my body well enough to do that because of my post-surgery issues, but I'm pleased to say I'm doing a lot of yoga now, which is, it really does connect the mind, body, and soul. But the answers are there. But if there's no time, as sorry, I was transgressing. If I feel that there's a time pressure or I'm just not winning the battle, so to speak, then I will try somebody. I'll turn to somebody else, and either for support, for advice, treatment. Sometimes I'll try. You know very well that I'll get onto a message or a phone and say, Isabel, I need you. Because there's no shame. I now know, it's taken me a lot of years to realize there is no shame in reaching out to somebody else to say, I can't do this on my own this time, and get some help from somebody else, and then take it from there. That's, yeah, being able to turn to somebody else.
And I love your initial suggestion too. It's almost taking your attention away from your mind where you're thinking about the problem and putting it in your body, either through meditation or through yoga, or even writing left, right, left, right. I love that one. Never heard that one before. Makes perfect sense to connect, well, the creative side and the logical side of your brains. So I'm going to try that one. That's going to be fun to write left-handed stuff. That's going to be interesting. Any other tips, tricks, techniques, suggestions that you have around worthiness for the Empower You tribe? You know who they are, the type of people that they are. They just heart-centered people who want to create their lives how they choose deliberately.
Just, I was going to say something very, it sounds very superficial and banal to say, just know that you are enough. We're all born worthy. It took me like, I'm not going to tell you how many more than 50 years to realize that, but far too long. But that's what makes me such a good coach. I've had such a long journey. For some reason, when I signed my contract to come into this world, that I had to, my journey had to have lots of twists and turns and learning experiences. But we are all extremely worthy. I saw in my own son too, and I'm grateful that I was able to help him, and not just myself, because sometimes we're too close to people to help the ones that we really love, and we need to take them somewhere else as well. But because of rejection he suffered by his father, which was very unkind and nasty. He's a very talented young man now, my son, but he was always very humble. He was always very talented and really quite gifted. And I used to joke when he was about 3 that he was this 80-year-old man in this miniature body. He was wise beyond his years, but he always believed he wasn't good enough. And understandably, if he thought, well, not good enough for my own father, then clearly I'm not very worthy. And when he started going to auditions, because he is now a professional dancer, but he was on stage in musicals and things. He could sing. He was the full package. He could do all that. He wasn't getting the roles that he would have liked, because in his heart and in his soul, he didn't believe that he was worthy of those roles. And as soon as that was cleared, he started getting role after role after role and offers of, everything he wanted. So it's very much, we have to know that ourselves, and then the world will reflect it back to us. So all I can say is whatever it takes, whatever method works for you, because there are a number of different ways, and we all take in information differently. We all respond to advice and information differently. That's why I have, like you, so many tools in my toolbox, because we're all unique, and what works for one person doesn't quite hit the spot for somebody else. But do whatever it takes to know that it deep in your heart that you are worthy, and then it's amazing how the world truly does reflect it back to you.
Yeah, and I was thinking from your entry into this suggestion, actually, if anyone that's watching has any doubts that you are good enough, usually we don't think consciously that we're not good enough, but sometimes it creeps up. Think of yourself as a baby. Look back at yourself as a baby. Think if you would ever in your life say that baby wasn't good enough. I'm willing to bet that that's not the case. That if you look at that baby, it's perfect. As is, you are that baby. Nothing changed. You just picked up some misinterpretations of what's good, what's not good, who you're supposed to be, who you're not supposed to be. All crap that has nothing to do with you, has only to do with society rules and things that, well, if we look at our society, we see how well those work. So let all that go. Look at yourself, baby. Absolutely perfect. Just a gift from God, from source, from the universe, whatever you want. Perfect in that little package. You're a bigger one now, a bigger human being. Still, all that goodness, perfection is still inside of you. So that might be a little shift that helps also with that. So Kim, thank you very much. I'm just going to ask, what's the easiest way that people can reach you? We have your contacts on the Empower You file section, but what's the easiest way to reach you?
The easiest way at this stage, while my website is under construction, would be email or Facebook. I have a new Facebook group that resulted from an online summit I recently did. It's called Rebounding with Grit and Grace. So you're quite welcome to join that group for some tips and tools. Otherwise, just Kim Lovegrove on Facebook, or my email address is kim.lovegrove@icloud.com.
I didn't hear it correctly. I'm sorry, it's kim.lovegrove@icloud.com. Okay, perfect. Because Zoom has a fade in, fade out, and it kind of faded out a little bit. So again, thank you very much, Kim, for sharing your life, for sharing your expertise, for sharing your path, and for sharing all of your gold nuggets with the Empower You tribe. And thank you. And thank you, everyone, also for watching, for being part of our group. And if you like this interview, just show it some love. Hit the like buttons. If you have any questions, put everything that you want in the comments and we'll check it out. And if you're watching this anywhere other than on our Facebook group, and this is your invitation to come and join us. It's called Empower You Energy Healing Group. It's a group of people that are heart-centered people that want to create their lives by design, and we're sharing all types of energy healing sessions, techniques, tips, tools for manifesting, for everything. It's an assortment of all kinds of empowering tools, so come check us out. Thank you for watching too, and we'll see you on the next interview.